If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm today to get started. Hello, self-developers, and welcome to the Patrick Kelly Podcast for Self-Development, where I will be reviewing audible books on self-development that can change your life for the better this year and years to come. It is said that if we keep on doing what we always did, we will keep on getting what we always got. In other words, to change our output, we first have to change our input. Today is August 22nd, 2021, and this is episode 32. And today we'll be reviewing the audible book, Attitude is Everything, 10 Life-Changing Steps to Turning Attitude into Action by Keith Harrell. This audible book will teach you how to turn attitude into action in 10 easy steps. Attitude is everything. People and organizations today more than ever before need to learn how to manage and control the quality of their lives through the power of a positive attitude. Learning to monitor, control, and tap into a positive attitude is the key to every self-help process. The most valuable asset that you can possess is a positive attitude towards your life. It isn't how much you know about maintaining a positive attitude that's important. It is how well and how consistently you put that knowledge to use. You can't change your height, who your parents are, or stop the sun from rising in the east, but you can control your attitude. A bad attitude can be made good, and a good attitude can be made greater. Your attitude is a powerful tool for powerful action. You can't buy a good attitude, but you can develop it. Chapter 1. Attitude is everything. The next time you are faced with a difficult challenge, always remember that attitude is everything. Your setbacks can be setups for even greater opportunities. Make your attitude into an NBA, which means natural born abilities. Our attitudes affect everything we do. What happens to us influences what goes on inside of us. Unless we master a process for taking control of our attitude and maintain a positive approach to life, even when negative events occur. What happens to you does not have to live within you. The people who go on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Every one of us endures hardships that can bring out the worst in us or inspire the best. It all comes down to which attitude you choose. Your attitude reflects you. Chapter 2. Attitude is a choice. Choose to take charge of your life. We all have a choice about how we react to each and every situation in our lives. Sometimes people can tell you what they can't do because they don't see themselves achieving it. But the magic of the word triumph is in the first syllable. You've got to try. Choose not to let your circumstances control your attitude. You should choose your attitude thoughtfully because it determines how you respond to the many challenges you will encounter in life. The path our lives take are largely determined by the choices we make day in and day out. By changing our attitudes, we can change our lives. It's a choice we all have. The critical difference between those who believe that they will succeed and those who have no belief in themselves is their understanding of attitude. In the midst of life's most challenging circumstances, you can choose not only to overcome, but to shine. Choose the attitude to make it happen. Chapter 3. Bag your bad attitude. Identify through self-awareness the attitudes that hold you back or propel you forward. You don't have to let what someone else said affect you negatively. You can hear the words, but you can choose your attitude. A good attitude begins with self-awareness. The ability to recognize our feelings as they come over us is called self-awareness, and it is critical to our development in a highly mobile, fast-changing, and complex society. Self-awareness allows you to be aware of your emotions and attitudes. Knowing yourself and understanding what drives your attitude and emotions is the first step to self-knowledge and self-control. We cannot change what we do not acknowledge. When you practice self-awareness, you give yourself far greater control of your actions. This control gives you options. You can decide not to react to negative emotions. Instead, you can develop a positive attitude that allows you to let go of the emotion. Chapter 4. Change your bad attitude for good. Reframe your bad attitude. Your attitude is your responsibility. Change your attitude with a change in perspective. Everyone sees the world not as it is, but as we are. We have a very little control over what happens to us in this chaotic world, but we do have the power to control our responses to what happens and the attitudes we present to the world. There are 3 points to remember when faced with a major challenge. If you keep them in mind, you will get back on your feet much quicker, and you will be far less likely to develop a negative attitude as a result of bad experiences. Point number 1, permanent. Remember that the challenge is not perpetual. It's not going to last forever. Point number 2, pervasive. It's not going to destroy your entire life. And point number 3, personal. You are not the only one this happens to. Chapter 5. Turn your attitude into action. Find your purpose and passion. When we feel trapped, bogged down, stuck in the mud, and going no place fast, we develop bad attitudes. Then we fall into the blame game. We find fault with everyone and everything around us. The enemy usually lies within. A lack of vision will get you lost. If you don't know where you are going, you might wind up someplace else. Goals are tools for focusing your life, taking responsibility, and getting you to take action. Achieving goals is just part of what is really important: the quality of life you experience, the person you become, and the difference you make in the lives of others as you pursue and achieve your goals. It is up to you to set goals and direct your passion at a purpose. Start making changes today that will get you to where you want to be tomorrow. Dare to dream and then set deadlines for realizing those dreams. Chapter 6. Warning: attitude hazards ahead. Be proactive. This step helps you understand the importance of being prepared, never giving up, never quitting, knowing you will overcome. This is the mindset you need to help you turn attitude into action. Make the decision to TTO, which means to take trash out. Then make a conscious effort to keep it out. Trash affects your ability to think clearly and make good decisions. It derails you. You must be clear on your goals and be vigilant about maintaining a positive attitude. When you approach life knowing there are going to be problems, you are able to understand that the problem is not the problem. The problem serves as a marker or an indicator that allows you to recognize where you are in relation to where you desire to be. Learning to manage minor hazards is an important step to staying positive. Chapter 7. Your Attitude Toolkit. Discover how to motivate yourself. You must acquire the tools to jumpstart yourself and turn your attitude into action. One powerful tool is affirmations. Affirmations are statements of faith in our dreams, goals, and ability to take control of our lives. They are part of an array of helpful tools you can use to help you focus, build confidence, and eliminate self-doubt, fears, and other counterproductive thoughts. Other attitude tools include self-motivation, visualization, attitude talk, powerful greetings, enthusiasm, spiritual empowerment, humor, and exercise. Affirmations repeated several times each day every day serve to reprogram your subconscious with positive thinking. An affirmation is made up of words charged with power, conviction, and faith. Every time you speak, atoms of your body are affected. The rate of vibration is either raised or lowered. This process involves repetition, feeling, and imagining. An affirmation is a method for affirming something positive in your mind. It may involve stating something that you think to be true, even when all evidence appears to be the contrary. An affirmation contains the elements of your belief, attitude, and motivation. Chapter 8. Build your A-team. Build supportive relationships. Having the right team with the right attitude makes it easy to turn your attitude into action. To a large degree, the attitudes we have about ourselves and about the world are the result of the feedback we get day in and day out from the people around us. To build a winning attitude, you got to have strong relationships with people who share your trust and interests. You can call your supporters your attitude team or simply A-team. To build your A-team, you sometimes have to let go of ego and adopt an attitude of humility or one of service. You have to communicate honestly and tactfully. You have to trust others as well as yourself. Always build relationships with the right attitude. Chapter 9. Develop a whatever it takes attitude. See changes as an opportunity. Develop a whatever it takes attitude, the key process for handling change, as well as the strategies to accept it, leaving you with an attitude of willingness to take action. If you're not making changes and taking risks in some aspect of your life, you are probably in a rut. Your attitude toward all aspects of your life probably reflects that rut. If you stay flexible, you'll continue to be constructive. Adopt the attitude that change is to be expected, and you'll be a lot better at dealing with it. There are two types of change: planned and unplanned. Planned changes are those you choose in order to improve your life in some way. Unplanned changes are those that are forced upon you by circumstances beyond your control, like a flat tire or being laid off from your job. The type of attitude you adopt toward change determines whether you let circumstances and events control your life or whether you take control. Chapter 10. Make a mark that cannot be erased. Uncover the power of turning attitude into action by discovering the importance and self-fulfilling reward of making a difference in the life of someone else. The most important thing we can do with our lives is to understand our purpose and release our potential so that we can plant positive seeds. Seeds of hope, love, encouragement, and faith in the lives of others. No matter what has happened to you in the past, no matter what state you are in at any given moment, you have the power to turn your life around and to pursue your goals and dreams by adopting an empowering attitude and taking the actions necessary to move forward. Just as every one of us has the power to choose an attitude that empowers us, each of us has the ability to reach out and empower and help others by sharing our gifts, no matter what they are. Closing thoughts. On a scale of 1 to 5, I would give this audible book a solid 5 for providing 10 steps to turning attitude into action. To find out more about this audible book, go to www.audible.com and download this audible book, or Google Keith Harrell to find out more information about the author. Remember to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you do not miss an episode, and also remember to share this episode via text or email with friends and family and other people that you care about. For more episodes of the Patrick Kelly Podcast for Self-Development and a free 30-day trial of Audible Plus, go to www.thepatrickkellypodcast.com to sign up today. If you would like to donate $1 or more to the support of this podcast, click the donate button at www.thepatrickkellypodcast.com, and I'll be sure to thank you on the next episode. Shout out to Lisa and Janet for donating to the Patrick Kelly Podcast for Self-Development. Thank you very, very much. This is the end of this podcast for today. Tune in next week Sunday for the next episode and the next Audible book of over 300 books that I'll be reviewing on the Patrick Kelly Podcast for Self-Development. If you enjoyed this podcast, take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. This really helps me out. Feel free to share this podcast with someone you care about. And remember, your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. Take care.